Hello everyone. In this video, we are talking about top 10 mid-sized business ERP in 2025.
Growing a business requires a holistic approach that extends beyond sales and marketing. This approach needs alignment among people, processes, and technologies. So if you're a business owner, operations, or finance leader looking to learn growth strategies from your peers and competitors, you're tuned into the right podcast. Welcome to the WBS Podcast, where scalable growth using business systems is our number one priority. Now, here is your host, Sam Gupta.
My name is Sam Gupta. I'm principal at Elevate IQ. Elevate IQ is the independent, vendor-agnostic technology advisory firm. We help our clients with technology selection, digital transformation strategy, as well as change management. On that note, let's go back to today's topic, which is going to be top 10 mid-sized ERP systems in 2025. Before we look at the list, let's understand how we define mid-sized segment. In general, in terms of revenue, this is going to be somewhere between 100 million to roughly a billion. And in this also, there might be two different segments which might have completely different needs. So for example, when you compare the lower mid-market segment, that is going to be between 100 million to roughly $250 million, that segment is going to have different needs than the upper mid-market segment. So although we have consolidated this as part of one list, but pay close attention to my commentary. I'm going to talk about which specific market segment is relevant for which product, where they do well, where they are proven in those market segments. Then this list is for all industries, so it's not going to be as specific. Our recommendation in general is that first try to find a list specific to your industries as well as your size segment. If you can find that, that should be your first pick. If you cannot find, go upwards and go for a slightly more generic list, just because that is not available. So that would be our recommendation. In general, the purpose of these lists is to help you with the long list planning. If you might not have budget for a professional selection engagement, in general, you need to look at your own requirements and you need to make sure that those requirements are going to be aligned with the target operating model as well as the target system that you are shooting for. But hopefully these lists can help you with some planning if you might not have budget for the selection process. Generally, these companies are present in fewer than 10 countries, so they are not as global. So the products that are designed for this market segment are going to be limited in terms of their exposure, in terms of the number of countries, just because they don't need that. The planning and scheduling is going to be far more critical now compared to the startup or the small segment that we have. So these systems are going to be much more mature with their planning and scheduling capabilities. Smaller systems are not going to have those capabilities. Implementation budget is there, but they might not be as much for the customization as well as the integration, the kind of integration that you would require for the large segment. So the systems that are going to be designed for that segment are going to be slightly different. The criteria that we have used to compile this list is product share, acquisition strategy focused on mid-sized business ERP, product roadmap, community ecosystem, win rate, technology strategy, as well as the investors. So now let's look at the list. Number 10 on our list is Plex, ideal for manufacturers that are going to be heavy on MES-centric capabilities. Plex also does well in very specific automotive-centric ecosystems. They are proven far more there. They are going to have some of the last mile capabilities for those ecosystems, especially in Toyota as well as Ford ecosystems. So the strength to keep in mind is last mile capabilities for those ecosystems. The MES first approach, if you are much deeper from the MES perspective and need lighter ERP capabilities, then this could be a great fit. Plex is a cloud native UI and architecture, so it's a modern system. It's not as legacy as some of the other systems that we have on. Limitations to keep in mind is limited core ERP capabilities. So the ERP capabilities, ERP layers that you have they are not as mature, as built compared to the other systems. And then mixed mode manufacturing capabilities might not be as rich compared to the other systems again. And the ecosystem as well as the consulting base is going to be limited as well. So that's number 10. Number 9 on our list is Unit 4. And Unit 4 is a great fit for public sector, not for profit centric companies. It's very well proven in large universities, large public sector, not for profit companies. It takes a very unique approach for the product as well, because the integrations that you're going to find, it is also going to have FP&A, even though FP&A you are also going to find with solutions such as Oracle, NetSuite. They also combine FP&A as part of their suite. So that's going to be a plus, and this is especially applicable for the service-centric companies. So if you require that as part of the package, then Unit 4 could be a great solution, as well as they have the HCM, indirect sourcing, etc. packaged as part of the same package as well. So that's a huge plus too. So the limitations to keep in mind is limited focus, limited ecosystem and consulting base. That's with any focused systems, and limited best of breed capabilities as well. That's number 9. The number 8 on our list is Deltek. And Deltek does really well in the construction, architecture, engineering centric spaces, government contractors. They're really good there. In general, their strength is going to be in government centric CPQ processes, project management. They are really strong there. They are also going to have very deep multi entity capabilities. And especially for mid-sized organizations, they require slightly bigger product. So Deltek is definitely the big product and would require a lot more implementation consulting budget as well, just like your Unit 4, but the market segments are very different for these two solutions. So their strength is going to be in GovCon as well as the DACA compliance. That's where they're going to be really deep. And then the multi-entity capabilities for the global companies. And in certain spaces, in certain industries, you do require substantial multi-entity capabilities, and that's where Deltek is going to be really strong. Sage Intacct also has those capabilities too. So these are two products that are really designed for the multi-entity capabilities. Then they also have some of the very specific databases as well as networks relevant to these industries that you are not going to find with the other solutions. Generally, you would rely on third-party add-ons, third-party solutions with those solutions, but with Deltek, these are going to be prepackaged as part of the same suite. The limitations to keep in mind is that just with any focused solution, it's not going to be as diverse. So as long as your business model is constant and you don't expect many changes, it should be okay, but it's not going to be as diverse as some of the other horizontal platform. And then the talent and ecosystem is going to be limited compared to the other products, and may not be the best fit for companies that have evolving business model, especially through M&A, private equity, holding companies. In those settings, this might not be the best fit. So that's number 8. Number 7 on our list is Sage X3. And Sage X3 is ideal for mid-sized process manufacturing companies. It does really well in the food and beverage, medical device, pharma centric spaces, anything and everything that is going to be process manufacturing related. Sage X3 is probably one of the best products out there. The strengths from Sage X3 perspective is the last mile functionality for process manufacturing, as well as the ecosystem that you're going to find related to pharma compliance, etc. Sage X3 is really rich there. And then robust ERP capabilities for mid-sized public companies. That's a huge plus for Sage X3. The limitations to keep in mind is Sage X3 is going to require some add-ons. For example, let's say MES capabilities might not be packaged as part of the product, so you would require a third-party add-on. So that is something to keep in mind. And it might be too big for smaller companies. So if you're a too small company, then Sage X3 may not be the best fit. And then ecosystem for discrete manufacturing might not be as rich as some of the other systems that are designed for discrete manufacturing. So that's number 7. Number 6 on our list is QAD. And QAD is ideal for mid-sized supply chain heavy companies, especially in the discrete custom manufacturing spaces, that's where QAD does really well. The strengths to keep in mind from QAD perspective is has very deep global capabilities, plus the whole supply chain suite that is integrated as part of the ERP. So they take very unique approach, just like Dell Tech, in configuring and designing their suite and the kind of pre-integrations that they are going to have. So if you are going to be very supply chain heavy, for example, automotive is a great example of a very supply chain heavy industry. In that case, QAD is probably going to be one of the best product out there for that particular market segment. Last mile capabilities for several industries, and then so that's going to be another strength. Limitations again, as with any focused product, it might not be as diverse, just like your Sage X3 or Dell Tech or any other focused products. But focused products are going to have their own sort of pros and cons. The horizontal products have their own set of pros and cons. And the other limitation is, let's say, if you are not using this for the operational capabilities, and if you're simply using it as the financial ledger for the global corporate solution, this might not be, you might not be getting the best out of QAD. And then ecosystem might not be as strong as some of the other products that we have on this list. So that's number 6. Number 5 on our list is IFS. And IFS is a very focused product, just like QAD or Dell Tech, but they are strong in very specific industries. For example, let's say if you go to oil and gas, project manufacturing centric spaces, that's where IFS does really well. Any of the telco, energy, utility, those industries, IFS is really strong. The strengths to keep in mind from the IFS perspective is the suitable for industries with intertwined EAM as well as field service workflows. So, if any industries that are going to be really deep into enterprise asset management processes or field service processes, that's where they are going to get enterprise grade capabilities from IFS perspective. And then proven among upper mid global companies. So IFS in general is installed with very large logos. Sometimes they might be installed just for their field service or enterprise asset management. And sometimes they might be used as the full blown ERP, but they have a lot more larger logos compared to the other products that we have on this list. And then the technology is superior as well. It's very cloud native in general. So that's a huge plus for IFS. The limitations to keep in mind is it might be overwhelming for SMBs. So it's a very large product. It's not necessarily designed for, it's for SMBs might find it slightly overwhelming. And the North American presence, again, traditionally, this was a very European solution, and they have come a long way in improving their North American presence, but it might not be as much as they might not be as penetrated as some of the other solutions that started in North America. But again, that is not as big a problem in general with the solution, just because as long as you are going to have decent number of logos in a specific region, that should be good enough. But that's a factor to keep in mind in general with IFS. And the solution is not as diverse, but that is going to be with any focused solution. So that's number 5. Number 4 on our list is Epicor Kinetic. And Epicor Kinetic is ideal for SMB manufacturers, distributors, primarily discrete centric verticals that are going to have very complex inventory need. And these are going to be industries, for example, let's say if you look at metal, fastener industries, that is where Epicor Kinetic does really well just because of the inventory layers that it has and the kind of processes it can support. The strength to keep in mind is any industries that are going to have formal manufacturing processes. For example, aerospace is a great example, or medical device, where they have to go through the formal engineering change control process, and they require far more regulatory compliance there. With that, in those cases, Epicor Kinetic is going to be. And again, Epicor Kinetic, the way it is designed is it has Microsoft look and feel. So that's a huge plus for Epicor Kinetic. Limitations to keep in mind is overall the number of layers it has from the financial operations perspective. They might not be as many as some of the enterprise grade products. So it does really well in that lower mid market. They are going to have logos in upper mid market as well. But again, it does not have as many financial layers as you are going to find with the enterprise products. And then the field service as well as the quality processes might not be as embedded as natively designed as you would find with the other products. So that's going to be another limitation. And overall, with any focused product, the ecosystem is going to be slightly weaker, as well as the marketplace is going to be weaker as well. So that's number 4. Number 3 on our list is Infor Cloud Suite LN-M3, and these are two completely different products targeted for two different industries. But since there is not much overlap with these products, generally we bundle them together. In general, Infor likes to brand their products as Infor Cloud Suite, so they are going to be branded for Infor Cloud Suite Food and Beverage, Infor Cloud Suite Automotive, Infor Cloud Suite Aerospace. So that's how their products are bundled, but these are generally suite. Underneath, you are going to have the specific ERP systems that are powering those suites. So you need to pay attention to which products you are buying as part of the suite, because at the end of the day, you will need to find support for those products. So in general, the LN products were designed for discrete centric verticals. M3 was for process centric verticals. For example, food and beverage, chemicals. In these industries, you are probably going to find M3, and automotive, aerospace, etc. You are probably going to find LN. Some strengths to keep in mind is the global operations is a big strength for Infor Cloud Suite LN M3. It might be slightly more localized, as well as it might have more global capabilities compared to other products. For example, let's say we compare this with Epicor Kinetic. So that's going to be one strength. And then the last mile capabilities, along with the breadth of capabilities for diversified manufacturing business models. So overall, the number of layers it has as part of the product, it can support a lot more diverse manufacturing business models compared to the other smaller solutions that we have on the list. And if you're going to be very complex from the manufacturing perspective, that's where Infor Cloud Suite LN M3 is probably going to be a great fit. Best of breed integrations offered out of the box, and these integrations are going to be flavored for very specific product types as well as the industries. So that's a huge plus that you are getting them pre-integrated, directly from the OEM. Limitations to keep in mind is might not be the best fit as a corporate solution for holding and private equity companies, legacy UI as well as experience. So the UI has come a long way, but again, it's not going to be as friendly, or users report that they don't find UI to be as friendly as some of the other systems that we have on this list, as well as the ecosystem, as well as the marketplace is not going to be as rich compared to the other products on this list. That's number 3. Number 2 on our list is NetSuite. NetSuite is ideal for global mid-sized companies consolidating all of their global entities in one solution. So the strengths to keep in mind from the NetSuite perspective is, number 1, it is cloud native, has global capabilities, as well as their ecosystem is one of the strongest. The limitations to keep in mind from the NetSuite perspective is the operational capabilities are not going to be as natively baked, so you would require a lot more add-ons in general, and then it's probably going to be one of the most expensive product in general, and requires too many add-ons for core capabilities, and sometimes that could lead to the implementation issues. So that's number 2. Number 1 on our list is Microsoft Dynamics 365 FNO. And FNO product is great, and now they have changed their name as well. So now they are bundling this as more of the project operations, as well as the finance and supply chain. I guess that's the name of the new product. You might want to check the name. It's hard to keep track of all of these names. They are changing on a daily basis. But this is the same product that used to be called FNO. So now FNO is great for global mid-sized companies consolidating their global entities in one solution. So if that is your goal, then FNO could be a great fit. Then richer operational capabilities as well as the cloud native tech. So that's going to be another plus. Other strengths to keep in mind is the operational capabilities, especially if you talk about enterprise grade operational capabilities in cloud. Microsoft Dynamics is probably going to be one of the most ahead in general. Then the best of breed products integrated at the database level. So some of the other products that they have as part of the portfolio that are integrated as part of that the common data model layer. So that's a huge plus overall from the integration fluidity perspective. And then ecosystem as well as the marketplace add-ons that you have, Microsoft is probably one of the richest. The Limitations to keep in mind is suite capabilities through third parties. So you would require a lot more add-ons in general. So that's going to be a little negative there with this product. And then too big for smaller companies. So that's going to be another con. And then limited last mile as well as the best of breed capabilities. So those are some of the negatives, and that's number one. If you enjoyed this video, we are going to include a link that is going to have much more detailed, in-depth analysis of these products. So if you care for that, you might want to check that link as well as download that report. We publish these videos on a weekly basis. So you might want to hit the subscribe button if you don't want to miss these videos. Also, this podcast is available in the audio form on major podcasting channel. So check it out and subscribe if you like. On that note, thank you so much for tuning in. I'll see you.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the WBS podcast. Be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. For more information on growth strategies for SMBs using ERP and digital transformation, check out our community at WBS.rocks. We'll see you next time.